Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is going to be just kind of an impromptu response slash observation of the Oasis reunion gig that happened yesterday, July 4th, in Cardiff, Principality Stadium. I'm sorry, I've got my computer here to make sure that I've got everything, information wise for you all. Cardiff, Wales. It was the first time in 16 years that brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher have gotten together on stage to perform a concert, and boy, did it look like the place to be. I've been watching videos since yesterday. Today I'm filming this on the 5th of July. I stayed up late on my phone watching videos. I was texting friends that are Oasis fans like myself, and just like being in disbelief that we're able to witness this seemingly impossible reunion of the Gallagher brothers, and not only the fact that they're just on the same stage as each other, but they're playing Oasis songs. They walked out onto the stage. You can see pictures online and video, kind of holding hands, raised up together, like, here we are, we did it. And that in itself, just, I mean, you can say what you want. You can say like, oh, it's for the money. It's Noel went through a divorce, so he needs some alimony, checks, which he definitely got last night just in that one show. They're playing again tonight. Actually, at the time of filming this, they're probably getting fairly close to coming on stage. It just looked absolutely incredible. I think over 60,000 people were there. There were live streams on YouTube that you could see people tailgating in the streets, chanting. It looked like it would have been, a soccer match, which is fitting for, both of the Gallagher brothers are big Manchester City fans, and so it's fitting that their show looked like a football match, as the Brits say, the Welsh, not to offend. I think just the idea that a reunion like this can happen gives us all hope for all those bands that we've loved throughout the years. That there is hope that bands could get together. Obviously, for years there was this big wait for Led Zeppelin to get back together in 2007. Pink Floyd got together at Live 8. There's been talks for years about a Kinks reunion. So those kind of things, they're always the fun, what if questions. And it's, more often than not, we get something like this and we don't get the result that we want, or, it's not fully what we expected. But with this, it looks like everything that we hoped, what we expected, and more. You do have a solid lineup of musicians. And again, I've got my computer here just to make sure. I don't want to have people in the comments say, oh boy, you got that wrong. Obviously, you've got the Gallaghers, and then you have original member Paul Arthurs, affectionately known as Bonehead, on rhythm guitar. You have Jim Archer, who was an Oasis Latter-day member. He's played with both of the Gallaghers in their respective solo projects. Andy Bell also was a latter member of Oasis. And then you have Joey Warnaker, who has played with I think Roger Waters, REM. He's been around. He's gotten his feet wet. So you have a very solid lineup. You have 3 original members of Oasis plus 2 latter members. I know that there was big dispute at the beginning. Who's going to play in the band? Is it going to be all new musicians? Blah, blah, blah. People were saying like, oh, well, that's not Oasis. I'm not really excited. It's just the Gallagher brothers. But you do have a 3rd original member with Bonehead, and then 2 other longtime guys that have been kind of playing in both Gallagher camps, as well as some of those later Oasis albums. So you have a solid Oasis lineup. Like, it will feel like Oasis just from the clips that I've seen, from the pictures. But you've got the guys, you got the Gallaghers. They come out, they're holding hands. They're the fans are just going nuts. And I should say, I have the opportunity. I did snag a ticket. I'm seeing Oasis at the end of August up in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium when they make their way to North America. So You will for sure get a review out of me then. By that point, I will be a married man, so it'll be a different location than where you see me here. But yeah, for them to come out and they open obviously with what else? They open with Hello, the opening track from What's the Story, Morning Glory. A fantastic opener. Liam sounds great. I know toward the end of the Oasis original run, as well as his tenure in the offshoot band Beady Eye, there were a lot of complaints about Liam's vocals. They were very nasally, obviously from years of kind of destroying his body with questionable substances. Kind of made an effect on his singing. But it seems like he's pretty clean now from the drugs, from what I can tell. He still enjoys a pint or two, but his voice sounded great. I mean, again, they're both in their 50s, so you're not gonna get Liam, singing exactly the way he did, but the vocal power that he has is still there, and it's not like an embarrassment. It's not like a tarnishing of the legacy. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, they're just going out there tarnishing their legacy, blah blah blah. In fact, the day that I'm recording this, the original members of Black Sabbath are doing like a farewell kind of salute with the four original members. And people are saying like, oh, they're going to tarnish their legacy. Ozzy's not up for the task, blah, blah, blah. You hear that all the time. But I'm here to tell you that this tour is not in any way going to tarnish Oasis's legacy. They sound great. Both of the brothers singing harmony together in the clips was just like this incredible feeling to me to see Liam and Noel harmonizing, especially on the song Acquiescence. Acquiesce, excuse me, which was the second song that they played. And again, I'm sorry for any spoilers for anybody going, but this is all online. Then they broke into Morning Glory, which is like that's such a huge track to knock out as track 3, obviously like the title track from What's the Story, Morning Glory, and to hear Noel hit that, because they're in the verse, Liam gets to this point, he says, guess you might as well, and then Noel hits the long note so that Liam can come back in and go, what's the story, Morning Glory. Hearing that live, hearing how clean Noel's vocals sounded, and not in like a doctored kind of way, from what I can tell. It just sounded so good to hear those two brothers harmonize together again. It just sounded so good. They did, some might say, another Morning Glory. So 4 songs in, we've already got 3 What's the Story, Morning Glory tunes. Then they go into Bring It On Down. They go into Cigarettes and Alcohol. Fade Away, which is fantastic. Supersonic sounded great. Roll With It, another Morning Glory tune. Talk Tonight. You have Noel sing his vocal on the fantastic B-side, Half the World Away, which is a great tune. It's the one Oasis tune that I play when I'm playing gigs. But hearing him sing Half the World Away was just so great. I cannot wait if they keep that in the set, which I really hope they do, to sing that with him in August. And then he goes right into the song Little by Little, which is just this great kind of like grungy sounding song. And then like the chorus breaks up into like this like big like pop ballad. It's just so good. Then they did You Know What I Mean. Again, sounded great. The two voices together. Stand By Me, the fantastic early Oasis tune. Cast No Shadow. I cannot believe this set list. Slide Away, Whatever, Live Forever, and they do that bit. Noel sings the high part. You and I are gonna live forever, and then they show on the screen Diogo Jota, who was a Liverpudlian football player who tragically passed away, and they dedicated that to him. Then they close the main set with Rock and Roll Star, which I imagine, being there, the place would have just gone absolutely nuts. Then they come out for an encore. They do the Master Plan. Great tune. And then it looks like they did their band introductions during that point. Then you have the ballad, the song of, so many people during some of those Manchester terrorist attacks a few years ago. I believe at an Ariana Grande concert. Obviously, the boys are from Manchester, and so Noel comes out and does "Don't Look Back in Anger." And watching that, hearing 60,000 people sing that song, just breathtaking. Again, those last three songs, all "What's the Story of Morning Glory" tunes. Track 22, the big one, Wonderwall, they had to play it. And then they close with an epic Champagne Supernova, singing along. And then Noel gives Liam gives Noel kind of a quick hug at the end of the song. They walk off stage. I'm guessing they don't talk to each other. I think the whole thing is that they're keeping them as separate as they can so that this tour can go off without a hitch. And very, 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 very smart move on their part. So they're playing again tonight. Again, July 5th, same stadium. And then a few days later, they're going to be, I believe, at Wembley for several nights. So we shall see what the set list looks like tonight. Excuse me, I think their next few gigs are in Manchester. So we'll see what the set list looks like tonight, if they stick to the same throughout the tour, if they switch it up for UK versus American audiences. I know they're playing everywhere. They're playing, Australia, South America, Asia. They're going all over the place. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do. I'm very excited to see them here in about a month and a half. Cannot wait to see Oasis. Let me know if you've watched the clips. Let me know if you're an Oasis fan. Oh, that's one more thing I should say. For anybody out there that, says like, oh, Oasis, they I can't stand their music, blah, blah, blah. I think you really need to give them a chance, because something just ticks me off a little bit about people that say like, oh, I don't like Oasis, they're just a Beatles knockoff. Oasis are the first to admit that the Beatles were the coolest guys on the face of the earth at that period of time. And they, honor the Beatles with their playing, with their harmonies, with their chord progressions, just like so many other bands have done in the last 60 years since the Beatles really, broke loose. So Oasis has some great tunes. Don't base Oasis solely on the song Wonderwall. Like, there are so many Oasis tunes that are great rock and roll songs that, I don't want to hear the grumpy old man idea, oh, they're just copying the Beatles. No, they are a fantastic rock band with strong Beatles influences. And anyway, if they are, as you say, knocking off the Beatles, what's the big deal with that? Don't we want more music like that in the world? Aren't we tired of seeing these fake rock bands, seeing guys like, Imagine Dragons and Maroon 5. Sorry to call people out, but that's what I'm doing. Bands like that taking up the rock charts. Why not have it be a real guitar band like Oasis with great harmonies, great guitar solos, fantastic singing and drumming? They're just a solid rock and roll band. I challenge any of you to prove me wrong on that. But I'm not here to be proven wrong. I'm here to express my joy of this fantastic reunion, one that I'm excited to attend here next month. And I hope you comment and all that good stuff below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you watched the clips. And if you were there, tell me that you were there. I'm very excited to hear about it. All right, everybody, that does it for me. Y'all be good. Take care. And we will see you on the next one. Bye now.